Sick.
I forgot that you like put them on YouTube somehow. That's
Of course, of course. So tell me, you know, like about the champs you play, your play style. What do you think you need to work on? Slash, what are you good at?
Oh god, okay, that's a really loaded question. Okay, so starting off with the champions I play, it kind of depends. I've always been better at hyper carries because I don't have a very aggressive early game play style. So hyper carries, I guess, would be the first answer. And then what was the rest of the question?
Honestly, it's just like, you know, what do you think you need to work on? What are you good at? What do you think
I
you're
think
good
I need
at?
to work on. Okay, well, I'm really bad at like getting kills, and then even like I can't even talk about like what I would do if I got kills early because it's so rare that I actually get kills during like laning phase. So being more aggressive in lane, usually it's just like 0-0-0 both ADCs for me.
Interesting.
And then what do I need to get better at? Well, that was one thing. And then the other thing would just, I guess, be macro. I mean, I don't really think. I don't know. I've actually run into like a weird problem where I'm playing in like platinum or diamond given that I have teammates who are also that elo, and I'm like playing in the whole elo range of like diamond and platinum. I usually do okay, but it's like lower elo. Sometimes I get stumped because I'm just really bad at carrying. I'm more like a team player, so I guess being better at solo carrying and like being able to do everything on my own.
Wait, are these your only accounts? These two? Wait, can you see my?
The only ADC account, like that's literally my ADC account. Like,
I
even demoted on it.
Not like this.
Second one, yeah, demoted on it, and then I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm just not that good right now, I guess.
Okay, we can take a look. Oh, what were you saying? Sorry.
And then the other thing is like in the late game, if they have like split pushers or flank champions, it's really hard for me to play around that. And I guess that ties back into like the solo, being able to do everything on my own, not relying on teammates thing. So I guess just working on that.
Okay. Yeah, we can take a look. It seems like maybe something's going on in the early game that we need to work on to help us transition to the late game, or we'll see. Which of these is better to look at? What do you think?
For laning phase or just in general?
In general, like what do you want to
Jinx
take a look at?
game was a overall higher elo game, so I feel like probably the Jinx game.
Okay, take a look.
Also, another thing is my teammates. Like I don't know, dude. I think sometimes I put too much trust in them, and I feel like, given that they do, like, in the scenarios where they do engage, even if I know it's bad, sometimes I feel like if I don't try to, yeah, that was stupid hook. Anyways, I feel like if I don't follow up, like, they get mad at me, but if I do follow up, I die,
So the idea is the amount to expect from your teammates is basic, right? So something like can they hit a skill shot on a stunned target? You should expect them to hit that. But then if you expect them to do something like, oh, you need to like stop Zack's jump with Thresh Flare or something, don't expect them to do something mechanical like that, right? Don't expect anything like mechanically challenging is really what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be too much of a what's it called? It's like, oh, in a perfect situation where they have perfect mechanics, they can like do this, but honestly, that's never gonna happen, right? Even we can't do it most of the time. So don't do anything don't expect anything. Like basically, like a good example would be like, you know how Nivea Wall can stop jumps and stuff.
Yeah, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, oh, she could have stopped Kazakh's jump and that would have saved me, but that's never gonna happen, right? So don't basically, but it's like, oh, using a Nivea Q on a stunned target, you can expect them to do something like that, right? Beyond that, that's pretty much the only thing you should really expect. Everything else you should do yourself, right?
Also, I recorded this game like mentally. I knew that this was going to be a game I was going to show you. So I typed in the chat more than I usually do in order to like note things that like I was like thinking at the time. I guess.
Interesting.
Try to think about like.
Okay. I think it's kind of funny how you said, I don't really know how to get these kills in the early game, but this follow-up was disgustingly good, dude. That was really good traps right there.
Really stupid kill though.
That was perfect. Look at this.
Okay, but like the thing is, even given that we had that kill, I don't think we translated our lead super well. Actually, if you want to look at a poor laning phase, the Ashe game is better, but later into the game, this one is different. Like,
okay, well, it
becomes annoying, and it's hard for me to play around in the mid game.
I'm sure we can take a look at both, right? So here we base, very good, good basing timing, perfect, pretty much. Oh, this guy's gonna fucking die. You can just like flash traps him too. Oh,
Yeah,
what
we
happened?
don't know. We don't know where he went. Oh, you're right. I could have flashed on him. That's right.
It's okay. It's like you could have like flash trapped. Do you see my mouse cursor by any chance?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like in this area, just like cut him off, and then he has to. But honestly, if it doesn't look guaranteed, you don't do it, right? So it's fine that you don't go for it here. It's just like, oh, nice try on the zap. That's about it. Oh, what's going on now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you
So
see anything lane movements, like, do you know what I mean? Like the way people move in the lane, like to like, I don't know how to describe it. Okay, never mind.
I know what you're kind of getting at. Like, oh, how should
Yeah,
we
I have
kind
really
of
poor lane movements.
interesting. Basically, for now, we just need to stick to the basic stuff, right? Like put minions between you and Blitzcrank, for example. That's like really the only thing we need to concern ourselves with at this point in time, right? You don't need to like turn around and then trick them and throw a trap on them or something like that. We don't need to do anything like that. At least not yet. Oh, what's going on here?
A little bit because we slow push it all the way to the turret. I don't know.
Okay. That's fine. That's honestly fine, right? You can fast push, you can slow push. Either way works. This is actually safer because you know your Leona has no flash, so they're gonna try and force on her. But if you have so many minions, they can't. So I think this is a-okay, right? As long as you got all the minions, I think you did, right? We have a decent amount of minions at. Well, it shouldn't matter too much. I hope, right? In terms of what you're doing now, I think. Oh, you got a lot of free hits on Blitzcrank, so that's pretty good.
You think it was bad though?
No, I'm just saying. Is there any way this can be punished? This position.
Well, thinking back, I don't know if Blitz has flash, and Rengar might have 6 and 4, 5.
So let's say Rengar takes the Blizzcon. Is that good or bad?
That's horrible for us, I think.
Right. So because Leona's gonna die, right? So the idea is, you really want to ask yourself, can I hit this tower without getting punished?
What do you think would have been the better option?
You can run into the river and go ward, so you can look for Rengar. Let's say, for example, we didn't use our trinket here, right? We push out first, safely, and then we go ward his camps, right? Something like that. Or you can go ward Pixel Bush, right? But pretty much, if you are facing an engage kind of catch bot lane, you only want to pressure tower or poke if you have a way out. That means you have flash, you have some kind of jump, whatever. But basically, you ask yourself, how can they punish me? And then you can beat that. Like, say you're playing Ezreal, Blitzcrank's gonna hook, you E out, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or Rengar jumps over, Blitzcrank hooks, you flash. That's still good, because you wasted Rengar's time, right?
Yeah, I mean, the blue one is probably coming up. I guess we could have, like, maybe gone and, like, looked at it.
Right, exactly. Like, let's say if we're over
Do you
here.
think that's good for, like, the enemy bot lane to do? To, like, go and just, like, sort of half-ass contest buffs, just to, like, see if you're there?
Wait, say again?
Like, do you think it would be good if we like went into the jungle and like spotted Rengar while he was doing blue? Or
Yeah,
do you think if we got collapsed on without Eve nearby?
You want to push in first, and then go ward, and then get out, right?
Okay.
And the idea is that if they come to try and stop you and you get away, they lose all the minions at the tower.
That's true.
Right. And they don't know where Eve is still, so they could be coming to help a bad fight, for example, etc., etc. Right. So the real idea is that you want to gain advantages where you can't get punished, right? So that's why we push out first before we go ward. And then say you see Rengar doing blue, then you say, you know where he is, so Eve goes to invade, and then you guys back off. Yeah. Can they punish that? It's like I don't think so, right? They'd have to come really quick. Like vision range is pretty big, right? So you spot him, you run immediately, and then it's like, oh, no punish, right? Because he's handing off blue buff. But the idea is you want to you have your options after you push. So when you're doing this kind of slow push, you need to push it in first, right? Because what happens if you don't? What happens if you don't push this in?
If we don't push this in, it's
like
gonna slow push away, and we're gonna lose CS.
Well, you're losing minions right now, right?
Yeah.
You're losing minions now, and he could have taken the time to thin it out or something like that. So you really want to clear the whole wave until they have no minions before you go do something, right? And then now would be your time to go, for example. And the reason why, if they try and gank you on this wave and you didn't ward, why do you win this?
Well, bigger creep wave.
Yeah, you have so many creeps because you slow pushed, right? So you win the 2v3.
I think Rengar was like Rio at this point, though.
That's fine because you only died to Blitz Hook, right? So you just flash Blitz Hook and then you kill closest guy. Easy. Throw your traps on the person, Leona stuns, and you're good to go, right? So there's just no way you guys can really lose. But here, this is punishable because all they have to do is run you down. So If Rengar pops over, they just walk forward, and what do you guys do?
Well,
It's
Rengar
like,
is mid. That's why I think I was poking him because Rengar.
right. But we didn't know in these seconds, right?
Yeah.
We walk up to hit the tower here. He could take the Blizzcon now. So that's something to note. But it is good that he was mid, right? He's wasting time mid. I don't know how he's supposed to gank mid. Yeah, that's fine. It's also this is really good that you got this. But it could be risky too, because what if he hooks Leona?
I was trying to get her between me and Blitzcrank, and she kept dodging the. I was trying to stand behind her.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to get hooked either, right? Because she's just gonna start tanking tower, right?
Yeah.
So it could be. Just be careful when you're. What is it? It's basically trying to do too much. Is kind of what we call it, because at the lower ranks, you may not realize it, but a lot of things that people do are punishable, right? They walk up and try and hit the tower, boom, get hooked or something like that, get engaged on.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to hook, he just flash fists and then it's over, right? So ask yourself what would you do if you were them? And that's like kind of the easiest way to figure it out, right? I used to get killed by Blitzcrank Hook all the time, and after like the 1,000th time, I was like, wait a minute. It happened every time I pushed up and tried to hit the tower. So then you're like, oh, you don't try and hit the tower unless you have flash, right? Something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, looks like that Blitzcrank is mid though, so this is pretty free.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we take it. Oh yeah, we messed up.
Oh wow. Oh wow, this is a dive? Wow, interesting. All you have to do is just hit him and you win, right? Just ulti this guy.
Well,
wait.
Flashes into my ulti. That's.
Okay, this is just unlucky. I think you have the right idea.
Yeah.
You guys just have to leave now.
Just like walked up, I think, and stunned him instead of doing the E.
Well, you could have just killed him here, right?
You think so?
You just ulti him and he dies. You just auto him, you ulti him, he's dead. No way he can survive, right? So it's kind of like you're right that Leona could have just walked up and not used E or whatever, but as long as there's something you can do that's easily doable, then we should look at that, right?
There was a million ways we could have played it better.
Right. Honestly, I think it's just unlucky. You had the right idea. Just maybe the execution could have been better, right? Yeah. Unfortunate. I also think that this could have been risky too, because Blitzcrank is on the way back, but it's fine because you guys should have Gangplank out. I think I was just unlucky. Don't worry about that. Right?
I don't know if he had Mobies or not. I think I would have checked. Oh, he did.
In that kind of situation, you just tell yourself, "Oh, I should just ulti next time," right? Like how many games of Jinx have you played?
A lot. Like
right. Really?
600.
Oh damn. Recently? Like in the last week?
Oh no, not in the last week.
Yeah, not overall, but like recently, because that's just a more you play the champion. That's kind of an issue of you just need to play the champion more, right?
Okay.
That's just like a mechanical error. Like say for example, you miss the trap combo on Leona EQ. That's just playing Jinx, right? You play like 10 times in a row, you'll be able to do that super easy. So this is just like I don't know how much you played her recently, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Eve came in here, but we see Rengar. But I think Rengar was planning to counter gank the Eve, not gank us.
I see.
I'm not sure though. Because like he just waited instead of coming in. I think he was waiting for Eve.
Oh,
Leona,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, so when you see something like that, you stop any kind of play, right? So you shouldn't go and try and right click him.
We stopped.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know how she like did that.
I don't know what she was thinking, but whatever, shit happens. Oh, Hex Flash. God damn. All you gotta do is just hit this Twitch and then this is fucking dead. That's fine. That's really good still. Rengar comes out, you guys are fine.
She's dead.
You're good. What? Oh, he gets hooked, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, not much you can do there.
I don't know if I could have done anything.
No. Like... You can't really do anything here. That's fine, right? Maybe like zap or something.
Like, I don't know how I could have done like the waves or something better this lane, but like I feel like we should have been able to kill Twitch more after the first death. Like,
it's not about okay, so
like my CS lead isn't big enough where it's like, wow, I'm gonna be so much stronger than him.
Hold on. So the idea is that once you get a lead, you should be able to get more, right? So after you got the kill, you are so much stronger than him. You're doing your job right. This is good. You don't need anything more than this. You don't need to kill him multiple times, right? Let's say, for example, he hides behind his tower the whole time. Is it realistically possible to kill him over and over again?
No.
Yeah, not really, right? I agree. So what can you get? Oh, you can get map control, right? You push in, you go ward, so you can get dragon, right? Oh, you can get tower damage, right? So you hit the tower, he's weak, he can't do anything. Or you can get CS lead, right? So you're doing all the things right. There's no need to worry about getting more when you're you are indeed getting more. This is good, right? You have gotten what you needed. If anything, you should just say, I just don't. If I can last hit every minion, would be even further ahead. For example, that's all. That's it.
I could miss less CS.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So you're doing really good. There's no need to kills. Does not mean more punish. If that makes any sense. That's not necessarily the correct punish. You can maybe snipe this guy, but.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's fine. It's okay, right? It's
I didn't even think
hard to hit those two. Yeah, I think you're playing this lane out fine, except for maybe.
Okay, so Rengar is like behind me here, but he keeps going on that ward. I just wanted to get this pushed out.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't see how do they punish you, right? That's always the question. He can't punish you. You're next to your tower, right? He can try and dive you. You put your traps on yourself, and then he's like, oh, I guess boosted. I can't do anything, right? So that's fine. This is all good, right? The only thing that could have been punished was really hitting the tower when you didn't know where Rengar was, and what was it? Getting hook level 1. That's about it. So far this laning phase is pretty good, and you could have maybe killed Twitch with the ulti or something, but beyond that, you're playing pretty much correct, if that makes any sense, and that's what we're looking for, right? Few mistakes. Yeah. The less mistakes you make, the better. This is the problem with hitting the tower, right? This kind of situation,
I
right?
was also going to get the scuttle or something, and then she walked in to start hitting the tower. Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. But that's that's why we can't hit the tower, right?
So tilted.
That was disgusting.
That went right around Leona.
So that's the idea. Is that
Leona's reaction was pretty good. She immediately ulted the Twitch when she saw me get hooked.
Saved.
She insta ulted Twitch, so it was pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty lit. But yeah, that's just you just don't try and hit this guy, right? Because you should know it's bad, right? This is just one of those. What is it?
Don't help your teammates if you something wrong. Yeah.
Not necessarily. It's you can help, but don't put yourself in hook range. You know what I'm saying? Let him hook Leona, and then you can rush in because there's nothing to stop you, right? But then other ways, you just wait here, and then of course she's gonna get hit. There's nothing you can do. She made the mistake of walking up the tower, so you just let her get hit, and then maybe you can help after they make a mistake, like hooking Leona or something. It's just that I am so scared for you when you're up in this tower range, and I have no idea where Rengar is, right? So it's if they gank, it's sad, but looks like not punished. We're good to go. Hit the tower. You can just kill all these guys, maybe. Oh, nice try, Leona. They're not playing like Rengar's here, so you just push this in base. Sure. Good. Something's going on mid. So I don't know. So far, so good in the laning phase.
The bottom lane now is kind of awkward for me, though, because no one really lane swapped, and... Okay, this guy dies. That's really sad. No one really lane swapped, and I can't push it out because of the Rengar, and that kind of this guy.
This is good. This is all you need to do. This is good. So you're saying you can't go bot now, right?
Yeah, I can't really go bot anymore and catch waves because Rengar will just feast on me.
Right. So okay, let's say for example this mid stuff didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you want to go mid. That's fine, right? You tell Gangplank to go bot. What if he's like, oh, I don't want to go bot? Then you go bot and you push out Leona and leave, right? What happens when Rengar tries to force on you? You and Leona just kill his ass, right? So the idea then it becomes, oh, what if it's Blitz and Rengar and Twitch? So what do you do then?
Well, then we're gonna have a problem.
So you sit at tower until you see one of them, and then you can push out, right? So that's kind of the idea, is that if you don't have control over the lane, you have to wait until you see them, or you let them push first and then you clear, right? But going mid is fine here because there's some shit going on. So I think this is the right move, going mid. You don't have to go bot in this case, right? Basically, you just want a lane to yourself is really the idea we're going for here, right? You just need to be able to push a lane, right? You push this and then you heal, or you base, or you ward, whatever. Probably heal. That's fine.
Should have done something different with
I think that is a-okay. I think that's fine, right? You had no HP, so basing and resetting is fine.
Been better this game?
Yeah, you always get tabbies against Twitch, right?
Always?
Yeah. Because he's gonna want to be in the same lane as you, and he's gonna open up on you, right? So pretty much always.
Okay.
Almost can't think of a reason why you wouldn't get it unless he's 0 and 6 or something. Even then, it's there's a Rengar and a Jace, right? So Twitch is reason enough, and then they have 2 more reasons on top of that.
Damn.
So wait, hold up. Let's check the map movement real quick. Teammate is getting collapsed on.
I was gonna get this huge wave, but I'm not I went mid because I thought with GP dead, am I gonna have to wave clear, or are we gonna lose a tier 2?
That's fine. Coming to cover mid, I think is fine, right? Sure,
right.
get as long as you're getting something, as long as you're getting some money with your time, right? That's what you and your team needs, is for you to get money, right? That's all you guys really care about. Holy shit, this blitz is like, did you see this flame lands some skills? Wait, didn't we see him miss like a million hooks too? Interesting.
Yeah, this was a talkative game.
Right. You guys win this 100%, right? You should run them down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you win this 100% because really good engage and a 4v3.
Oh,
So
I rock it a lot in team fights.
that's fine. Don't worry about that. This is fine, right? This is okay. You're good to go, right?
Like,
And then
yeah,
you push.
I don't really minigun ever in team fights.
Right, you only minigun when they're close by and you don't. Wait, why are you basing here? Hold up.
Yeah, this was really stupid actually.
Yeah, you need to run back to safety before you base, right? And then it comes out, and then you need to get out. Oh my god, Nivea could have walled you. That would have been so sad.
Yeah.
Oh my! You see that
Yeah,
Rengar? I mean the
her.
barrel. Dude, look at this fucking barrel. What the hell, dude? Oh my god.
Jesus. Wait, did he
Alright.
phantom barrel? Or what?
He just like put up a barrel. You know the 2 barrel combo thing. It's like
Oh,
shot hit. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
That was crazy. All right, good. Sure,
That was
fine.
really lucky, I think though.
I agree. That's lucky. You shouldn't base there. I guess you're not punished. I think the more so far this game is like, wow, that looks risky, and then you get away somehow.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny,
I
but
was like trying to get a decent game, but I think the Ashe game was like a little more rough. It was really rough for me.
so I think you have the idea right so far. Look, right? You just push out first, and you go do something, right? Check it out. Okay, sure. You go help this guy. Maybe something doesn't happen, then you go mid. But I think coming to still help is
I
okay,
don't have
right?
a hook, so I just
But
want
you-
to pay for him.
Yeah, you want to push before you do stuff, right? Basically, you need to do something with your time. You're either helping your team or you're pushing a wave. So here you need to push bot, so that's good, right? Push bot, come back, and then let's see what happens. You need to go help your team, right? You're gonna win this fight if you help. You just hit the closest guy and you're good to go. Very nice. You just flash away from this guy or something. This
No, he
is
did-
free
he
too.
didn't. I was
You didn't
waiting for
even-
his flash. Oh,
You're gonna die to Twitch here if you're not careful.
it was so close.
Yeah, you died to Twitch, right? Oh, you died to
No.
Jace. So what do you think you should have done better here?
I'm not sure. I think my team actually played well versus the flank.
Can you do anything better here?
Just flash the hook maybe, or just maybe.
Right. So when you want to when you're chasing, you need to make sure you don't get hit by their turn. Right. So there's 2 things here. One is that could you guys have just done dragon?
Oh yeah.
And that was the objective the whole time, right? So the first is you need to know what you want, and then the second is the mechanics aspect. You can go for this blitz because this is 100% play, but you need to know that you need to dodge a hook, right? So that's the kind of idea here is what's going on here. When you chase, this is just over chasing, right? When you chase, you need to have a clear plan in mind, right? Otherwise, you never chase. It's almost never a good idea to chase, right?
Yeah.
Unless
we
you
wouldn't have
know
gotten any
you win.
more out of that than just
Right.
dragon.
Right. So you could have just turned around and do dragon. But
I guess the kills don't really matter anymore.
right, the idea is kind of if you wanted to do something like that, you have to know what Blitz is gonna do, right? It's very obvious. You're playing Blitz, you see Jinx run at you at 20% HP. What do?
You just turn around and hook.
Exactly. Yeah, if you were playing Blitz, that's exactly what you would have done, right? So basically, put yourself in their shoes, and that'll tell you what to do when you're chasing them.
Okay,
right?
so here wait, go back a little bit. Okay, I pinged the Baron because I think it was the right call. Even
Alright.
because like there was fruit, I think they could have like got enough HP.
All right, I think you guys can just do it if everyone
Well,
comes.
But yeah, we don't end up doing it.
That's fine, right? Whatever. Team doesn't want to do it. That's fine. So you go mid. That's still okay, right? Still overall good.
I really like the Baron.
Right, but there's literally nothing you can do to force them to do Baron. You pinged it. They still don't want to do it. Nothing you can do, right? What are you gonna do? Start it and kill yourself? This doesn't make any sense, right? So it's fine, honestly. Like it's not about solo queue is not about what is the best possible call we can make right now. It's about can we make something good happen? That's all you would care about. You just want good because it's either good or it's either bad in solo queue. You're not looking for best, right? You just want something good to go right. So the fact that you guys got those kills and got control over the map, that's fine, right? And you got money. We're happy. We're happy. We should be happy with that. We don't care if we get Baron or whatever. That's just like icing on the cake, right? Oh, he gets hooked. That's kind of awkward.
I don't know what's even happening here? Like,
Right.
this is no trouble.
I don't think you guys want to siege, right? So sure, you can try and rob camps, but
Yeah, that's
this
what I
is
was trying to do here.
you want to go back mid. Sure, doing red.
I should have just recalled, I think, because this
I
was
think,
like really inefficient.
No. This is fine. Like if your team's trying to do something, you shouldn't recall, right? Your team's trying to do
Really
something,
walking
you definitely shouldn't recall. If they're trying to contest vision, you're like, oh, we should be around to help, right? But I think Gangplank recalled, so your Leona's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes I think the Leona was bronze, but then sometimes she's actually not bad. I don't know.
Right, you guys didn't want that because your Gangplank was in base, so this is kind of awkward. You just want to leave, right? You just want to get out before you get
Could have
Rengar.
actually died here because of the Rengar.
Right. Someone's dying. Oh, this is really awkward. What the fuck is going on?
I didn't know how to get into this. I had
You
to
can't,
go all
right?
the way around.
How do you know that you can't help this fight, no matter what happens?
We're outnumbered.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are more people. So what's your goal then? If you can't win a fight, what's your goal?
Just get away. And...
So let's go back to here. What are they gonna do when they kill Leona?
Well, yeah, they could chase or Baron.
Right. So if they Baron, what's your goal?
Yeah, we want to be able to contest, so we just want the numbers.
Yeah, you just wanna poke them off it, right? Or maybe try and stop it. It's the Scion in front, and if they chase you, you just walk away, right? So it's good that so when you're like, oh, how do I get in here? The answer is you can't, right? There's nothing to do. You guys should be happy that they're not doing Baron, but then Eve dies, so the Baron play is looking better and better for them. Yeah. Not much you guys can do. You guys are about to get pooped on, right? So you actually can't.
The game just turns like I'm 6-1, but because of this like weird, we give them Baron and 3 kills, and it's like kind of hard now.
Oh, and then you die here.
I borderline inted there. That was so stupid.
Right. So as very much. There was not much you can do about your team trying to do something weird, except backping. But for us, it's just how do we make it so we don't die, right? That's your job, is how do I make it so I don't die? So something like that is like, let me show you an example, right? So let's go to my plays. I was playing Jinx. This is a perfect example because I was playing the same champion, right? And let's go up here and... Let's see what's going on. Let me see. Right here. Okay. Not this one. This one. Okay. So tell me if there's anything I can do to help my team.
Help your team right now?
Yeah. Look, they're like in their base. They're like in their base suiciding, right?
I guess I would just hit the tower.
Agreed. You hit the tower.
Scenario, you get the tower, you get a reset, and you can start doing something. But... Right.
But if you can't really do anything, you don't do anything, right? They literally just suicided, right? They just fucking took a Tom Kent ult in there and they all died, right? So if there's nothing you can do, you should basically prioritize your life because there's literally nothing you can do, right? If they just like straight up in like Leona did, it's just our job is now how to make it not worse. How do you like do damage control? You know what I'm saying? So when we get to here, you should know that
playing the Rengar just murdering me.
Yeah, I guess you should have a plan for when Rengar ults you, right? So what's the plan?
Honest, I didn't even see the thing above my head.
So. Yeah, but like in general though, what would your plan be?
Oh, right now I don't have a plan.
So you'd have to formulate something, right, at all times, because he's gonna go for you every fight, without a doubt.
No traps, no heal. I really just have my Leona.
Right, so that's how you know you can't walk up and hit something else because Rengar is going to come out, right? I would say something like trap yourself and then heal right after he damages you and you're good to go, right?
I didn't have my traps even, so...
Exactly. So that's how you know you don't use traps unless Rengar is going on you, right? You would save your traps for something like that. So when you're talking about split push, pressure, or these flankers, right? You need to create a plan of action for when they do that. And then let's say... you're playing Ezreal and your goal is you're gonna jump over the ledge when he goes on you, but then you see enemy 80 carry walks up a little too far, so you go for an EQ. All of a sudden Rengar ults. Did you make a mistake? Right? Because you screwed up your own plan because you tunnel vision on something else, right? So this is the same idea, is that you should create a plan to beat Rengar jumping in, and then make sure that you don't use any of those resources, because otherwise he's just going to jump you and you die, right? Plus, you might have to just give up the tower because your whole team is dead. So it's like 5v2 or 5v3 or whatever. Kind of unfortunate, but basically all you need to do
I
is just
was
damage control.
typing. Oh god. Let's not look at this.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
just
this is
back
kind of
up.
awkward.
It was actually not even bad. Like I
Oh
missed
god.
the hook, but then this guy came creeping
Right,
up
Rengar
on
ulti,
there.
right? Same thing.
He
Same
didn't
thing.
even ulti. He was just there.
Yeah, so it's basically that was kind of awkward, so don't worry about that. But
I shouldn't have been typing. I was trying to like communicate to my team like how we do the fights or whatever, or something. But
so basically, what do you think you should be doing in fights if a team fight breaks out 5v5?
I guess it depends on how the engage goes.
Just like
Sure, it's a simple answer, just DPS.
No, it's not a simple answer at all, right? Because what are the threats on their team? I guess.
Well, Rengar, they have really good like pick sort of. They have good pick, good flank. They can pick us out, I guess. I don't know. Like we should be, if we fight as 5, I guess that would be our goal, is to fight as 5 and for me to be able to follow up on engage.
So the reason why I ask is because let's say Leona ultis Jace. Do you combo with traps or not?
No.
Why is that?
Because he told me to put them on top of myself for Rengar.
yeah, exactly, right? So that's the idea, is that if Leona ultis Jace and you hit Jace, Twitch kills you. And you're like, oh, GG,
Oh, yeah,
right?
they have
Or you see Twitch and then you hit Jace and then Rengar ultis you. And you're like, oh, GG, right? So what do you do?
What do I do if she ultis Jace?
Yes. Do you hit Jace or not?
I would probably not be hitting Jace.
Yes, you don't hit Jace because you don't know where Twitch and Rengar are, right? That's that kind of the trick. That's how you play against these split pushers and these flankers. Right?
What do you think of my build so far? And do you think I should be building different? Or
This
what
is
should I
fine.
be building next?
This is fine, except for the tabbies. You probably wanted tabbies. This is fine, right? It's never really a build question. Next item, probably like looking at your team. It's kind of hard, but you maybe want to consider Guardian Angel, or you might want to consider Death Stance, anything along those lines. But anything along those lines, right? Death Stance is to prevent burst, so like Twitch, Rengar, right? And GA, so that if you get caught out for some reason, then you can still be useful, right?
Do you think the value of the Death Stance is more than the Bloodthirster Shield, level 18?
Depends on what they have, right? Let's say you're playing against Talon. Is the shield gonna save you more than the Death Stance is? I would say not. I would say not, right? So Death Stance would be very valuable against these kind of burst champions, right? Oh my god, this is free, right?
Well,
how do we know it's free?
Well,
how do we know you can just hit the closest guy? And you
because
win.
we see everyone. There's no threat anymore.
Yes, and not only that, but
Wait, what?
not only do you see Rengar, so or not Rengar, Twitch, so he's not gonna assassinate you.
Rengar's dead.
Yeah, Rengar's dead. Yeah, so it's 4v5, so it's free. Just everyone run in here and then we win, right? As long as we don't get one shot or whatever. This is just you just kill them all. Very good. You just fast forward.
A maw later.
A maw? What did you build a
I know,
maw
it
for?
seems really stupid, but yeah. Wait, did I build a maw this game?
You don't want to build a maw this game for sure, right? Like example of someone you want to build a maw against is like Katarina, right? Guaranteed damage is what you want to build against. That's why you want tabbies against guaranteed damage. Twitch is guaranteed, right? Rengar is guaranteed. If they really wanted to, they can right click you, right? So you want to build armor against or magic resist against guaranteed. Otherwise, you don't have to.
Okay.
Right. So I think so far, besides the one time we ran into red, which is kind of awkward, and we tried to defend top, which we really shouldn't have because you couldn't really. Oh yeah.
Really autopilot.
That's really awkward. Basically, the way to kind of turn off autopilot is always check the map and ask yourself, what should I be doing? What's my goal? All right, what's the goal here? Let's say it's 4v5. You're like, our goal is to not fight. Or it's 5v4 and you're like, our goal is to find a fight, right? Watch your threats, because like you said, these flankers are giving you trouble. So have a plan in mind when they come out, right? Twitch comes out, can you 1v1 him?
Right now?
Just like in general. Answer is yes, then you're fine,
no.
right? If the answer is no, then you hide with a pink and then you wait until you can see him, right? That's kind of how you would need to play it. Otherwise, you're just gonna die to random flanks and shit. Wow.
The Scion ulti hit the wall.
Right. So there's nothing you can do here. That's fine. Maybe you can like ulti them or something. I don't know, but you know that you don't want to take this fight. Oh, you put the traps on yourself. Very nice, like we said.
Yeah, I was just kind of.
It's still gonna jump on you now because you have no traps. But you still win this because he missed. And then you see Twitch, so all you have to do is kite this out. Maybe you can win. Oh, very nice.
It went so. Oh, I kind of. I'm cringing, dude. I hate my own like team fighting ability. It's so.
So it's like we get to like a point, and it's like so good, and then it's just like I don't know what to say because you. I think it's just like you chased.
No,
you only died to this twice, right?
It happens to me like so much because like I don't know, like never mind. It's just hard to explain. Like I make such stupid mistakes sometimes, and I'm not sure.
I know what you mean. It's like you did the hard part of the fight, and now the rest is like following up. But then it's like
and if he just gets me with the stupidest Q ever.
Yeah, we run headlong into danger because we're kind of tunnel vision, if that makes any sense. So for you, I guess if you wanted to work on team fighting, I'd say something like, don't hit someone until you've accounted for all your threats, right? So what I mean by threats is the thing that hits you kills you, right? So Inhibio Q, Blitz Hook, any of those. You have to play more cautious than not. Because for you, I think it'd be more helpful to tell you to be more patient than it is for you to run in and help a fight. Because I think you can already do that, right? You already know how to help these guys and hit people. You just need to make sure you don't suicide into something, right? That's pretty much it, right? Because you guys could have gone Baron if you didn't die here, and if you didn't run into Blitz. Well, I think you guys got Inferno anyways, but it could have costed Inferno or something like that. So the idea is like.
2 objectives lost because I like entered into them.
Right, you want to you need to have a bigger margin of safety, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this fight is still going. Like Sion ulted 3 times in the one team fight.
Yeah, oh, that's pretty funny. Like it's like 40-second cooldown or something. Hold on, what's going on here? Okay, I guess
coming up, so
we clear bot.
Bottom side, but.
I guess you wanted to clear bot, sure. I think it's be okay. You don't want to fight this though.
Oh, I ran over a ping.
Oh, you definitely don't want to fight this, right? Oh, unless you can one-shot someone. Oh! You can win this now. Oh my god, beast! Wait, what? You ran back into it.
I have a maw though.
Wait, why do you have a maw? Jesus Christ!
I told you I fought it.
Oh, this is really good. See that? Okay, so we know you can do it. Right, we just saw you dodge that, even though she's low HP. So I'm not really sure what to tell you except be more patient when you're doing these fights, right? So this is really good that you're going for these splash damages, and how you're playing is very safe. Look at this, very safe is what you want to go for. So I'm not really sure what to tell you other than be careful when chasing. When you find yourself in a chasing situation,
so
play more safe than not.
Like you think just like the patience thing and I just don't know what I need to do to be able to get to diamond. I just want to get to diamond. Like I don't care about like being master or challenger or some shit. But like every time I try to climb to diamond, I always run into the same issues where I'm just like I'm not carrying hard enough. And I think it's just like I'm not good at aggression or I'm not aggressive enough. Okay, we can just
yeah, this one's probably done, right?
Yeah, we entered like 3 times. We had to keep respawning and go to end the game. It was a flex game. Like, come on. It's
interesting. So it's like
okay, this is what I meant by positioning in the laning phase. I didn't mean to talk over you, but like.
No worries. If you ever have any questions, always talk over me, right? So we can discuss them.
Like my positioning in the lane, I'm trying to like stay aside the wave for like it's similar to like Ezreal Q where I can like get the volleys. But I just like end up taking the poke from the brand.
So like that. Oh, so you dodge it though.
Well, yeah, we got the level 2, but they did. Okay, yeah, I fucked up really hard with like this whole skirmish. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are dying now. He has ignite.
Well, I get away, but well.
Okay, so here's the idea. Remember how we talked about you're chasing, you see Blitz low HP, Blitz sees you low HP. What is Blitz gonna do? You're gonna hook your ass. So in laning phase, when you're against any kind of skill shot, You go for a last hit. What is their support gonna do?
Throw the skill shot at me.
He's gonna throw something at you. Exactly. So you either make it so it's impossible, you put a minion in between you guys, or you pretend to go up and then you dodge it. Right? That would be another way to do it. Let's say in this case, if he's just throwing shit willy-nilly, then you just have to focus on dodging it first before you hit anything, right? But the idea is that pretend you're him. What are you gonna do, right? It's very obvious if you think about it that way, right? If I'm playing Brand, I'm gonna throw shit at you all day, every time, because I know you're just hitting these minions, like not even caring if he's gonna hit you or not, right?
I took that Q because I was fighting for 2 because we were pretty close, I think, on the push, and I just wasn't paying attention to the Brand. I don't know if we should even fight for 2 in this lane because
if you can get it for like free, you should do it, right? So that was basically relatively free, so that was good. But it's the same thing, right? He just throws shit at you when you're trying to last hit. You see this, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, was this minion dying anytime soon?
Nothing's focusing it, so no.
Exactly. So you don't have to hit it yet. You really only need to get the minions that are about to die. So you can use those to fake him out. For example, you're like, oh, I'm pretending I last hit this, and then you run away, right? And then all it takes is one miss, and then you have what, 9 seconds of being able to do whatever you want, right? This is basically a skill matchup where he's just trying to hit you with poke, and you just need to dodge it, right? Same thing here. That minion wasn't dying anytime soon, right? He would need like another like 3 or 4 hits for him to die. So you're good to go. You just make sure you don't get hit.
Walk down further and like staying close to my Tarek. I don't know if he had the Guardian, but I guess maybe that would have helped.
Right. The priority is basically CS is not your first priority, right? Not getting hit is your first priority in these lanes. Like say for example you're playing against Blitzcrank. It's more obvious because if you get hit you die, right? When these poke lanes, let's say you sacrifice, you get hit but you got the CS. How many times does it take for that to happen before you have to base? Right? And then it's like, oh, it wasn't worth the CS because now you lose another 6 CS. You lose all the CS that you tried to get. Yeah, so this is awkward. Nothing you can do here, right? That's fine. Something like this is fine, but the reason why this situation happened is why.
Autoing the Brand, do you think? If I like autoed the Brand that whole time?
No, you can't do anything here, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because you hit him, what happens? Tristana jumps you guys. Oh, you lose all your HP. That's sad, right?
Like, yeah, I think my mindset was that she still had the heal, so we have 0 kill pressure, and I just don't want to fight it if we have.
Right. You can't do anything there, right? So what was the mistake?
What's the mistake?
Yeah. Why? How did this situation happen?
Because I got poked out early. Right.
Exactly. So that's how you prevent this. Your Tarek, basically, you put your teammates in a situation that was hard for them to pull it off, right?
Do you
he was like
Tarek as a sustainer.
I would say like if they have no sustain, he can out sustain, right? You could consider that like enough. So yeah, you want to take trades, for example. And he's also all in because he has his stun or all in catch or whatever, however you want to classify him.
Oh, I get fucked so hard under tower.
Oh yeah, this is awkward, right? So. So now they can dive you, right? So that's what I'm saying is that you need to prioritize not getting hit first. This actually helps with your chasing issue too, is that you kind of prioritize getting that last 2 auto attacks in because it's going to kill them. But they're just going to kill you faster because they throw their ability at you. It's the same thing. You wanted to get these last hits, but they're just going to throw shit at you. So you need to prioritize dodging first over anything else.
You think I should be between the tower and the wall?
You can just be over here behind your range minions, right?
I can't see your cursor.
Oh, let's see. Anywhere where you can't get hit, that's where you want to be, right? Or you want to be up here so you're baiting him. But no matter what, your goal is not to not get hit, right? It doesn't matter where you are. You just need to not get hit. If you watch Korean Challenger replays, they'll fake going for a CS, then Caitlyn throws a Q, and then they dodge, no matter what. And they'll lose the CS.
Yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself on this. I just want to like...
Yeah, it's the same idea though, right? Is that no matter what, you just don't want to get hit. That's really the goal here, right? So this is good, right? Basically, no matter what, you dodge. Okay, Alien Soul is coming down.
The Brand has no sum, so
yeah, this is free.
Get him to go for me.
That was good. It was good. You had more people. All you had to do is make sure he stays and you kill him. That was really good, right?
Yeah. If he didn't come though, we would have some problems, I think, in this lane.
Right? How do you recover, right? But it's good that your team punished. It's also the same example. Isn't that the same example where don't hit the tower unless you know they can't beat? You can beat their engage. It's the same example from last game, but switch sides, right? They got punished for trying to hit the tower.
Yeah, they were.
They had no way out, and then it's like, oh, Erlian Soul is coming, so I guess you just die.
Awkward. But
let's see.
I'm like trying. Like I don't know if you think poke Ashe is good. It's like my solution to like not being able to kill people in lane, which these two games like are very poor representations, by the way. But like it's kind of like my solution. Like I can just win the lane by poking them with the comet, and then I can get CS leads.
Yeah, I don't think it's. About, like, I don't think it's very good, right?
I don't think it's very good
because it doesn't really make any sense, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's like you took the comet over the fleet footwork. So not only did comet the like sorcery tree got nerfed, it just like it's not consistent. I think is the issue. It seems like a good idea, but you know, what if they have a Nami? Oh, all of a sudden comet is like trash, right? Something like that. I think it can work, but I would not recommend it.
Pick, I think. But yeah, you're right. It's probably not even good. So.
It's not something I would practice, I would say.
It's just like the meta ADCs are really weird for me right now because whenever I pick them, I feel like, okay, like can I just talk about something for a sec? How do you do like poke lanes or like, I guess, yeah, poke lanes with no sustain versus poke lanes that have sustain? Like, you literally can't trade if you have Janna and they have Nami.
Okay, perfect example.
They can basically run at you and take any trade and they win.
So, let's watch this game. Nope, not this game. This game.
I played a game earlier where I had Janna support and I was playing Misfortune and they had Vayne Nami. It's like, well, Misfortune should beat Vayne, but the Nami just can like, oof.
Alright, let's see. This one? Is this right? This is the exact example that you were saying. I'm pretty sure.
It's like a lane matchup that's just so disgusting for you if you're the one with the Janna.
How do I find it? I'm pretty sure. Oh. That's not this. Where is the Nami game? I'm pretty sure I had a Nami game somewhere. Interesting. I can't find it. But basically, you know that you don't want to trade against Nami because she's gonna out-sustain, right?
So if they just walk up to you and start trading with you.
How far up do they have to walk for them to lose?
Well, what if they only walk far enough to zone you from the CS or pressure you off the CS?
Right, that's the idea, is that can they tank a full wave and win?
No.
Yeah, so then you try and bait them into walking forward into your CS wave, right? That's the idea.
Would you pull the wave to your side or go for the push?
If they let you push, you can push because if you push, then you have your minions and they don't, right? So they still can't trade. The idea is that you know what they want to do. They're gonna spam wave, right? So when she does that, you need to be in a position where she starts tanking range minions.
But wait, so the second they start contesting your push, do you just give up then?
Probably, right? There's not much you can do at level 1 because you're just gonna get destroyed, right? But if they make a mistake and they let you push, you're good to go. Or you just let them push you in and then you can win that way. But you know, they counterpicked you, right? You're Nami versus Janna or whatever, and they should win that lane, right? So theoretically speaking, there's not much you can do. But if there's something you can do,
that, like, if you had like, I just know that if you took a challenger Janna and a challenger Misfortune and put them against like a platinum platinum Vayne Nami, the challengers would win, and so there's a way to do it.
Right, exactly, and that's because the Nami would walk up to try and trade, and she would keep chasing because she thinks that wave wins no matter what. But then, let's say she walks up to the ranged minions, and then all of a sudden Janna turns around. What happens if Nami waves? She starts tanking minions, right? Yeah. So then you throw a NATO, you ignite, it's over. You just all-in her instead. It's not a trade anymore. It becomes an all-in, for example. Or you traded her so hard.
An all-in happening in that lane.
Say again?
An all-in happening in...
Right. It's because both sides are weak at all-in, but, you know, one's marginally better. So you should go for it or something like that, right? But that's the general idea. Or you can make it so that when she tries to trade, her trade is so bad, it wasn't worth. Right. Let's say
I kind of like forgot about that, like trading with your minions.
Right.
Simple, but like, yeah.
Your minions are hella strong, right? So
really, yeah.
Wait, we just totally missed the sequence though. Hold up. But yeah, that's kind of how you deal with it. But if you can't deal with it for whatever reason, you just bite the bullet and you just try and get as much CS as you can without trading, right? No matter what, don't trade. And then, you know, maybe she'll bait herself. You know, gank is coming, and you let her get a wave off, but by the time she gets the wave off, you're jungler is already on top of her, right? So it's like she focused so much on tunneling for the trade that she dies the game, for example, right? That's kind of what the brand was doing, right? He was trying to tunnel so hard for the poke that he died to Kayn and early in Soul. So
I was trying to arrow Brand, but unlucky.
yeah, I think it's unlucky, but you hit someone anyways, and that was a high value target. I think it's okay. If anything, you can just like save it.
I feel like the best way for winning this lane is to just hit the arrow on Brand. Brand support is
right. You want to all in, right?
I think he's very easy to kill with CC.
Agreed. Wait, so what should you have done here? Do you think?
Not well. I tried to get out of that. Or wait, is it something simple? I don't know.
Like, what could you have done better?
I don't know.
Let's say, for example, you didn't use your arrow. Would that be better or worse?
Yeah.
Right. So saving it for more value could be better. Like if you don't have to use it, you can save it, right? To see if you can get anything better. Right. I would say that if you save it, you're still gonna hit the arrow later. And you know, I think that what is it called? Basically, you're only.
I think I was trying to save my Tarek, but I guess he was gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, he was gonna be fine. He was either gonna be fine or you're gonna kill everyone for Tarek's death, right? So it's fine if they do something like that, right? But basically, your arrow has to have really good value because that's the only thing you can do. Yeah. Oh yeah, he saved himself. Fiddle tried to chase and then he just got ultied. Seems good. But yeah, that's like on Ashe, you just have to make sure your arrows actually do something, right? And the best way to do that is hold on to it until you know it's gonna be really good, right? I know you're trying to hit the Brand, but let's say for example he flashed the arrow anyways, then it's like, oh, that's kind of awkward, right? Because he was gonna have to flash out of the Aurelion Soul in the beginning. Oh, what's going on here? He has no flash now, so he's probably dead.
Yeah, the Kayn.
Oh
no,
what's going
actually,
on?
I lied. Okay, so the problem is that we didn't have our ultis and they did, and I didn't want to fight it, to be honest.
This is just
because we still were on cooldown from last fight. And
well, it's just that he just I don't for you to do anything here, you just need to maybe help with volley and auto attacks. But other than that, if you see something going south super quick, you can't save this, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I kept walking. Just a mechanical error.
It's just like a I don't think it's a mechanical error, right? A mechanical error would be like a missed volley or something, or it's just like this is kind of you tried to help, but they were donezo already.
I do that a lot,
right?
but like yeah, I always like. I know people tilt, especially if they do something, even if it's a bad idea. But if you don't help them, and
you shouldn't help them, you should mute them.
Just like conditioned to like help even in the stupidest plays.
Yeah, you never help a play that has 0% chance of working. So I think you don't really have to worry about that.
I'm not I was just justifying it afterwards.
I agree. I think that you know, this is just like this is literally just Brand being able to throw his ulti. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But just know that in general, you know, if you think that something has no chance of working, like spam back ping, right? I think that, you know, if Kayn had hit everything, maybe it could have worked. But once you saw that the ulti was going off, it was like, oh, there's no way, right?
Like if we had Tarek ulti, that was free, I think.
Oh, I think you tried to hit Brand here, but I think it's still gonna work because Chain.
He actually kills me. Like,
yeah, because it's Brand, right?
He's so stupid.
Oh, so close! Ah! All right, nice try. I think I have the right idea, but same thing, right? Save your arrow. You would have hit him anyways. What happens if you volley him first?
He's slowed.
100%, right?
I could have like even made it.
I would say
with like a flash.
Yeah. I would say you probably don't have to use flash, but oh, what's going on? Oh, barrier! Oh, yeah. time the orb. Oh no, he didn't time the orb. Okay, nice try.
He could have moved to make the orb go faster.
Yeah, but that's pretty hard. So I think, you know, the idea thus far is like in terms of laning
the mid game. I mean, like right now my mindset is like I'm pretty much valued as my E and my R. Those are like the only value that I have. So I was just trying to like stay out of the way and like catch waves.
Right. So this is right. You want to push bot and
I
then
know.
come
I
in.
didn't go for the wave because I'm sure I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I think Fiora was coming bottom or something.
No, I think Aurelion Sol got chunked, so covering mid is fine here, right? You just need to make sure you need to cover this until Aurelion Sol can get back. And then take all this. Good. I think in general, you kind of know where you need to be. So that's good at the very least. At least when we saw that Jinx game, right? You need to... this is a free ulti. Same thing. Sieging a tower. Basically, don't hit towers.
My E for...
Yeah, and then you just hold on to your ulti. Oh, okay, maybe not.
I'm using it too soon.
Right. And this is just like an Ashe thing, right? But the reason... Why do we say it's too soon?
It's an important skill shot. I guess we should aim to chain it.
Is it guaranteed? Is the real question.
Yeah.
Is it guaranteed, right?
No. I mean, like,
it's not guaranteed, right? So you want to wait until you can guarantee, or you have a very high success rate, right? So something like that would be, they have to run in one direction because Aurelion Sol or Fizz ult or something like that. So basically, saving it is better than using it early. Essentially, like using it late is better than using it early.
All right, let me just try to
he's just fucking dead. Yeah, he's just dead, right? So
I mean, our team was very impressive this game, with helping us bottom.
Oh, I think you want to push another wave here, but
you think so?
Who can stop you? That's the question.
That's for this.
Exactly. So that's why you want to push another wave. Basically, push out before you go do something. I think that's the general idea. But so far, this Ashe game has been about making sure that when you pick Ashe, you're valued as your arrow. So make sure your arrows are very good.
And it's pretty strong in solo.
It's not bad, I would say, but if your team's donezo, then you can't do anything. I think that's the awkward part.
Disengage at most.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like really awkward. Okay, this is a sick arrow. Let's watch this. But you weren't even aiming him, so that's kind of awkward. But yeah, I would say you gotta save it because that's the only thing you can do.
I totally knew he was there before.
Right. But yeah, I would say that's like in terms of kind of know your role as. In terms of the champion you pick, because Ashe and Jinx are very different in terms of what you want to do in the game, right?
Do you think I should stick to one or the other?
Yeah, you need to stick to a few champions because the difference in playstyles is kind of a lot of people play 80 carries the same way, no matter what they pick, right?
I've also done this thing where like I ask it's not like it's uncommon, but like I usually try to see what my support's playing, and if they're picking Janna, I almost always pick Kalista right now, which is weird, but I haven't really had one right on her, so. I mean, it works. But, like, is it good to have a bigger champion pool if you, like, know how to play the champion with different champions? I don't know how to explain this. But,
like good synergy or something, like Zyra Khan or whatever. Wow, that was a hot volley. But I think that, yeah, you can go for the synergy pick, but you run the risk of not being able to perform basic mechanics, right? If you ever mess up mechanically, it's like, oh, it's GG, right? Like we want to pick Ashe with Blitz, but then we miss half our arrows, or half our arrows weren't good. Then was it really worth justifying the pick when you're going to pick something else next game, right? We're not really focusing on the same champion, I think.
Yeah.
So I would say for you, definitely stick to a few because
how many do you think?
Like 2 or 3 max, right? That's what I'm doing. I can handle 3.
Some ADCs that you think would be good for Platinum 5 to Diamond 5?
So
given that patches will affect them, a lot.
Seeing what you play, like play your favorite, honestly, and just keep spamming those champions, right? Because if you look here, these are 3 different champions in 3 games, right? And if you look here, actually, I only see 1, but it's like you need to stick to a few. I think spreading yourself too thin kind of prevents you from playing the game out in a correct line of play, if that makes any sense, right? Like every time you miss arrow, it's like, oh, the game's kind of changed, right? Because now we're less useful than we should have been.
So do you know who this guy named Dog 2?
Yeah. He was this Misfortune player.
Misfortune guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know if he has any other accounts because he like not playing that much recently?
I have no idea, honestly. All I know is Dog 2.
Watch that he plays Misfortune. I used to like watch his game sometimes.
That was pretty. Yeah, his Misfortune is pretty lit. Especially when it was like lethality or something. That was crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at Challenger players a lot. Like I know pretty much everyone in Challenger, not personally, but I know a lot of them like personally. But Yeah, so like I watch their games a lot. I don't know how much that actually benefits.
It helps a lot, right? Say you want to play. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
Nothing.
Say you want to play Zaya, right? So I look up best Zaya players. I'm like, oh shit, Sneaky's playing, right? So I watch Sneaky. I'm like, oh, that's how you perform Zaya's basic mechanics, right? And then I see, huh?
I was gonna say there's a Zaya player named like She's Perrin or something. I don't remember. They were like last season. Never mind.
I don't even know. But yeah, that's the general idea is that if you see someone who plays a bunch of Zaya, then you watch them and you say, oh, I'll copy how they play, right? The reason why we know we should hold on to Arrow is because when you watch a bunch of other really good Ashe players back when Ashe was meta, that's what they did. Every time they use Arrow, it always hit. So you need to make sure it works, right? So if you go for an arrow here, it's not going to hit, right? That's how you know, oh, we don't want to aim for this, right? You hold it on until you know for sure. Otherwise, every time you miss, it's like GG, right? Same thing here, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing here.
What about like impacting the map? When like let's say you come out of lane and you're like, I don't know, you end the laning phase, you get the first tower, you get the solo gold, and you have like 2 kills. Like what do you do from there if the other lanes aren't even like remotely relevant yet? Like, or not even like, how do you say it? They haven't settled out yet to like, or people have their items. Like,
so like say
lane swap?
you're like this is like 10 minutes in and you guys destroyed bot. What do? You still go bot because it's too early, right? Because dragon's spawning, right? Or dragon's there, and then you guys can do dragon.
A good idea to freeze the wave? No,
because you want to. You can always do something when what's it called? You don't want them to roam. You don't want them to go mid or something like that. They have a Blitzcrank, they run mid, you're sad. You want to pressure bot, right? So you push them in 24/7, you run into their jungle, right? So let's say what happens if you don't push and you freeze? How can you invade their jungle? How do you punish? How do you punish?
Pressure for dragon either.
Exactly, you can't punish, right? So you want to punish their jungler trying to jungle his own camps, right? So you push in.
All of this like requires a lot of map awareness too.
Right. Of course, like you can't know what to do if Jesus.
Brand R this fight, I think. Oh wait, never mind. That was.
It's close. Yeah, like
he kills me with just R. I was like,
that's pretty awkward. Yeah, Brand is pretty crazy. I think it's kind of funny, but that champion's pretty fun.
I don't think he's good, but he's really annoying.
But I think when you are doing these fights, it looks like you're performing really well in terms of where you are. It's just 2 things: you miss important abilities on Ashe, I guess, and you chase, and that blinds you. Other than that, your fighting's been really good, right? It's kind of weird.
On the objective that we're trying to get from the fight. That way I don't like chase too far or very far.
I would say to help you with the chasing thing, you should only chase when you know how exactly it's going to play out, right? You chase, Brand throws, WQ, you're going to flash it or something like that. If you have no plan to stop that, don't chase, right? Basically watch your replay, and then when you watch you die, ask yourself, oh, what happened here, right? And most of the time I guarantee you'll be chasing or something about lane phase, right? Because that's kind of the only thing we've seen you die to, is those 2 things. I think in the Jinx game too, right? It's the same idea. In terms of impacting the game, it's just like I think we just missed too many arrows, so hold on to it unless you know for sure you're gonna land it, right? Even though laning didn't go so well, I think that laning is less important at these ranks. So the thing I can tell you is like against poke lanes, prioritize not getting hit over anything else. Here? Runans is fine here, right? You could honestly buy anything is fine here, right?
Okay. And you were saying it's kind of weird, like you're saying something. You're like it's kind of weird, but then I like asked you a question. You continue.
Oh shit, I don't remember.
You're like your team fighting is I don't know. You're talking about my team fighting. And you said it's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. It's kind of weird because remember the Jinx game? You played the 2v4, 3v4, whatever, really well. It's like we can see you do it. Yeah, that too. But you're there to punish, right? So we can look at this. This arrow was insane, right? So we know that you can. You knew he was like chasing though. This is what I want. Is that without a doubt in your mind, it's gonna hit, right? You would bet money on this arrow. Basically, is what I want you to think. Yeah. Like that last arrow you just like randomly shot when your Aurelion Soul isn't based. It doesn't make sense, right? So you need to save it until you know for sure, right? Save it until you'd bet money on it. And I think it's weird because your movement and your fighting is good until you start chasing or you miss an important ability. So it's like very different.
guy,
Oh wow, Jesus, this guy is just
he's
after
so
you.
annoying. I hate
Yeah, that was good. You won the fight for your team. This is what you want: is that you do something like this, you win the fight for your team. You already won. Just by doing this and not dying to Brand, you won the team fight, right? You skip forward, they all die, right? That's how we know.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
This game, it was a supportive Ashe game.
Right. What I want you to think is that if you play more Ashe, I want you to think every time you miss ult, useless. You lose the fight for your team. It's the same as the missing Malphite ult, right?
Yeah.
Every time you...
Play Ashe, but
okay, but that's the it's a similar idea with Jinx ulti, right? Or Callista ulti, or Callista Rend, anything like that. You need to make sure that your mechanics are clean, right? And the way we do that is spam that champion over and over and over again, right? So for me, I spam Caitlyn, learn something else, spam that champion 10 times in a row, right? Just spam the same champion.
You're really boring.
What do you mean? No. This is good.
Caitlyn?
Caitlyn's fun, I'd say. And I think that no one else is really picking her, so
she's pretty good, right? No one's really picking her.
I think she's good, but she's also really hard
like
to
her
play.
Damage is really lower in the I think her level 1, 2, 3 damage pretty good, but then it feels like she falls off level 6 with not having a damage ulti.
Right, because it's the way she plays is very different than other AD carries, right? Other AD carries can all in, right? Name any of these carries, we can find a way to do maximum number of damage. How can Caitlyn do max damage? She has 2 skill shots and a third if it's a trap, right? So it's impossible, right? Not possible. That's why it's kind of weird for regular people to play Caitlyn, because it's kind of what phase, you know? I don't. It's like kind of hard. Same thing here though. The ulti was used to do what, right? You already know, but it's the same. It's the same idea.
Healed myself with the ulti.
Right, exactly. Or caught someone out with a Aurelion Sword or something. This is just like you want to get out, so you guys just need to leave.
One second. Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
Anyways, yeah. The trend in these games seems to be though that I'm not really doing anything like carrying. Like if you're on the enemy team, you're not like, oh my god, this Ashe is so annoying.
Exactly.
And you're not thinking that about the Jinx game either. It would be like, wow, this Scion is so tanky or something. Like whenever I play versus I play blind pick quite a bit sometimes, so I do play against the challenger players who are just screwing around. But they always get really fed, and I'm always just like, God, this player is so annoying. It's really hard to replicate what they're doing, when they're playing Kha'Zix or something. And every time I try to do it, it's just I can't.
Basically, it's about consistency, right? So we've seen you say for example that arrow on Lucian. You do that with every single arrow this game. They would be saying this Ashe is so annoying, we can't win, right? But the fact of the matter is that we are not consistent enough, right? And that's why it's not. It looks like we can't, or it seems like we can't do the same things that these other players are doing, right?
I ended here.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because
I didn't see the TP. That fear is so long. It's crazy.
Well, even if they didn't have TP, you can't save this, right? How do we know you can't really defend this tower?
Well, we have no numbers.
Exactly. So
41 HP.
Unless you know you can defend this for some reason, don't defend, right? You actually can't save this no matter what you do, right?
This was an autopilot thing too.
Right. So so a few things to help you. I think we're seeing a few small mistakes from each area, but the main points I'm seeing are you need to know what your goal is when there's more or less people. So when there's the same amount of people, your problem becomes we chase or we waste abilities. And then if there are less or more people, your problem becomes I didn't notice there were more or less people, so I didn't know what to do. Say for example, all these people died. You try to defend the tower even though there's 5 up, so it's 5v2. And then you try to defend, you die because there are more people, right? Same thing with the top tower. You were playing against Anivia and Rengar. They still had 5 people. So you still try to defend, but there are more people. So same thing, right? So the thing I want you to work on first is the mechanics aspect. I think that's the... I'm not sure how well that translates to Callista or the other champions you play, but from what I was seeing, it's about making sure you land, especially this game. Make sure that if you don't know you're going to land your important ability, don't use it.
Okay.
Right.
Does that include things like Caitlyn Q, Ballista Q?
Exactly.
Simple things?
Every single ability. Every single ability. Like Jinx traps, right? You used it randomly once and it could impact the fight or something like that, right? So you need to make sure that everything you use has a purpose, right? Everything you use has a purpose and it works, right?
Okay.
Like you missing your ulti is like the same as Fizz missing his ulti, right? Whenever you see Fizz do that, you're like, dude, this kid sucks, right? But whenever we do it, we don't see it.
But...
Yeah, that was unlucky, right?
She flashed
nice try.
arrow, but like she was still dead anyway.
I think it was a good try, but I probably would have held on to it, right? Still hold on to it. I'd still hold on to it until they run in one direction, right? Literally nowhere else they can go, and then I'd probably use it. But honestly, I'm not sure how well doing that will correlate to other champions. So the next piece I want you to work on is when you have when you're doing team fights. Your team fighting is very good, except when it comes down to the last few people, and then it's kind of like chasing too much. I think is where you're going wrong, right? Like you had really good score in this game, and it'd be better if you had your arrows, right? But the only thing you died to really was they had more people and you tried to do something, right? So that's the kind of thing I want you to work on, is the map awareness aspect. Is look at the map and see how many people they have and how many people you have. And if you have more people, think to yourself, you always win. As long as you don't miss, you win.
As long as we have our ults and stuff, yeah, we're...
Yeah. Honestly, the brand thing bot was really unfortunate. Don't worry about that. That's just like, that doesn't usually happen, I think. They usually don't have some kind of super all-in mage, right? So don't worry about that, I would say. But for the most part...
Sometimes they're meta, Malzahar, Xerath. Sometimes they pop out and they're just popular for a patch or something.
Yeah, that's in that case, if that becomes a thing, then you ask yourself, you win when you have more people unless someone gets one shot. So in our example, it was Tarek and was it Kane got one shot. So
yeah.
Oh my, nice try on the arrow. But is it? But to be honest, even if you hit that, is it worth your arrow? He's gonna die anyways, right?
I was desperate for kills because my KDA was so ugly.
Right. So the idea is that, yeah, if you hit this guy, he's dead, right? Because let's say you're playing Tristana and you're focusing on Fizz, you don't see Ashe. So bam, right in the face in the middle of an auto attack.
She had QSS at this point, but
oh, okay. Then it's probably like try and save it until someone else uses a stun, and then you know she's gonna QSS, so you ulti or something like that, right? Anything like that. But that's kind of the idea, is that every time you miss is you can't do anything. Oh, okay, so you're fine here.
This is an example that I was talking about earlier with the flanks. So like if we back up, like she comes in behind, and I'm stupid and didn't see her on the map there. But like even with 4 people, it doesn't really matter. And yours like obviously not the only champion that can do this. Riven would do this. Like lots of bruisers would do this. So
let's say if you knew she was coming, what would you do?
Well, that's the problem. Like where do I move? Like I could move closer to my Aurelion Soul, but I don't see that really saving me.
That's perfect, right? What if can Fiora right click you if Fizz is hitting her?
She can, but she will eventually die.
Right, she's gonna die super quick, right? Okay, let's say for example she's still doing it, Fizz is hitting her, and then Tarek aims a stun. Now she has to parry, right?
Yeah. Or
she has to use Q. And then on top of that, once she does that, Aurelion Sol is using his Q. So it's like, for her, it's not really possible for her to outplay 4 people, right? She needs to isolate you, basically. You need to know she's not coming. So all you have to do is just kite.
I did that myself by flashing away from my teammates here.
Right. You just need to kite. If you knew she was coming, you would have kited up, right? But not knowing she was coming robbed you of the choice.
I think I had the flash, because I'm not sure, but I think Tarek tried to stun her there. No, he didn't. It's
just, the thing here isn't you died because your mechanics were lacking. The thing that killed you is map awareness, right? You didn't know where she was, right? So I think, this is the one that'll help your gameplay the most, I think, is the map awareness aspect, right? Whenever something happens, whenever you hit someone, whenever you're sieging, you need to look at the map and ask yourself, where are other members, right?
Yeah, I can just see that they're up, and
that way you'll know, oh, she's coming from behind, or you know that you have more people or they have more people, so you shouldn't fight, right? Because I think too many times when they have more people, it's super obvious when you know you have more people, because like you said, you're trying to bait Brand in the gank and he died, right? That was really good. But when they have more people, you just like walk up, you know what I'm saying? So you need to know that your goal is to not die when they have more people, right? So always look at that map, right? I think is the big one. And then for flankers, you need to ask yourself, in what condition do they kill me in a flank? Let's say, for example, it's Talon. Then you say, oh, I have to be next to a wall. He jumps over immediately and ults, and then I die, right? So what's the solution? Stay away from walls, right? Oh, it's Rengar. He's gonna go invisible and come up from behind our team. So you buy a pink, put it down behind you guys, and your team will react, right? Something like that. Against Fiora, what's she gonna do? She's gonna walk at you. Okay, so what happens if you walk away? Oh, I guess she can't do anything, right? Then you auto her once and she's slowed. So it's like, but the thing is, you have to know they're coming before you can, make this plan work.
Yeah,
so
she
I think
got onto me before. I was also typing, so I think I was typing when she walked over the fog or out of the fog of war. But, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I guess if that happens too often, stop typing, right? Because I think we saw you run into red as Jinx and you were typing or something. That could be something to work on too. But
I try to tell my team what I'm thinking, because I feel like never mind. Let's not get off topic. Anyways, what do you think about boots?
In terms of this game, I think this is fine, right? This seems fine to me. Right? This is like Lucian, Tristana, Fiora. None of them really have guaranteed damage, so to speak. But you could go Tabbies if you really want to. I think either option is fine.
Okay, and then Amaw next probably, or Brand.
For Brand and Fiddle, I honestly don't think you need any of that. Let's say, let me look at this. Oh
my god, it happens again. The flank.
So you got a Fiddle, you got a Brand, you got all this stuff. So if I was you, I'd be thinking something like, oh, we want Sustain, or we want a QSS for Fear, right? Something like that. Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking.
Another flank too.
You want Maul? Remember, Maul when there's guaranteed damage. So something like Katarina, something like LeBlanc, right? Anything along those lines. Brand is only guaranteed if he's like on top of you, right?
So Maul is not against burst. It's just to negate the guaranteed.
Yeah, Maul is for. I mean, the guaranteed damage is usually burst, right? Yeah. In terms of these assassins and stuff. So that's what you're aiming for, right? Oh, and then this is a nice ulti, but I think that again you can save it, right?
Yeah.
Because why?
I don't know.
He's gonna Zanya's, right? So you want to save until you know it's good. Like you could have used it to hit Fiora here, for example, chain her and then she dies.
Even though I was against the wall and she couldn't get the last vital because I was hugging the wall, she still just killed me. It's like, make it stop. I hate that champion.
yeah. It's like there's also another reason here. How come we lose this?
I guess my arrow would have been good for the
field. Besides the arrow.
How can we lose this?
Think about map awareness.
Yeah. We don't know where all of them are, I guess. No? Okay.
Bigger reason. That is true. You don't know if Fiora is, so she could be behind you.
I don't know. We're chasing.
Who's typing in the chat?
Don't fight with. Oh my god! I can't see him because it's.
Oh shit! Because it's like blocked or something. Yeah. But yeah, your answer's not here, right? So I think this map awareness section of the game, I think, helps you the most, and that and the not chasing part, I think. Because generally speaking, I think you know where to go for after the laning phase. It's just better, yeah, it's true, but it's not as.
Did you see any like glaring macro mistakes?
Not necessarily. I don't think so, because if I did, I would have pointed it out, right?
Okay.
In general, it's like you're just losing these fights because you're like missing something, you're chasing, or your map awareness is lacking. That's it. That's what I think, at least. Are these three kind of categories?
Okay, so just work on those and. Should get diamond.
Right, exactly. But honestly, like the secret to higher rank is basically look at the map and say, do we have more people? Do we have less people? Where are they? And then do something based off that information, right? You say, they have 2 bot. Okay, let's ward Baron and pretend to do it or something like that, right?
I think you could play like a late game AD and just farm the lane, never like worry about having to, or like always accept that you are going to be slightly behind in lane, but then use those concepts to win the game. Of
course, right? Like I had a game today where I like inted like a few kills, and I was like, okay, let's play the macro correctly, and then we just won because we just took every 5v4 we found, and then they just lost, right? That's basically. Do you really think that win lane, win game, right? It doesn't work that way, especially at the lower ranks.
It really doesn't feel like that anymore.
Exactly.
It felt like that before, but now it's a lot less.
Now it's about who fights 4v5. That team loses. Okay, that's the secret, right? The team that fights 4v5 is the team that loses, right? And then if you fight 5v5, which team wins? The team that lands more shit, right? That's why we're putting in an emphasis on your arrow, because if it's a 5v5, you guys are gonna lose every time you miss arrow. For example,
value out of the abilities, I guess.
Exactly. But if it's 5v4, honestly, almost doesn't even matter, right? You just fucking throw everything in their face, and then you're gonna win because it's 5v4, right? Okay, you guys get Baron somehow, but in terms of like these flankers, the best thing to help you is map awareness again. Like if you don't know where they are, pretend they're like next to you. Oh, you killed him with Comet? What the hell?
Yeah, I think my comment. I was like,
let me see this shit. What the fuck?
Again, it wasn't the necessary arrow.
I think it was good. This is considered good because I think she could be getting away. But
okay, I gotta go eat dinner. But I think
okay, that's fine.
I don't know if that was the end of the thing.
No. I think we covered most of the points. But one last thing is that for you to improve, you need to actively think about one of the things we talked about and go into game working on this thing. Like say for example, you're gonna work on your map awareness from now on, right? Yeah. Then you go into game and you say every time something happens, I look at the map. And I ask myself, where are they? Where's my team? Right? Is this a 4v5, 5v4, or 5v5? Right? And then you do that until you look at your replays and you say, I always knew where everyone was. Okay? That's like, I would say that's what I think you should work on. And then the second thing is mechanics. Right? Don't miss your shit.
Yeah.
And then those two combined will win you basically up to diamond. Right?
Okay.
Unless you're like losing lane so hard that they just crush the game, then that's like a different story. But I don't think that happens just yet. Right? I think we're still fine in that aspect.
Okay.
All right, cool. If you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up on Discord. Other than that, have fun eating dinner and good luck in your games.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, have a good one.